Hi, I'm Nick Stratton from Grid Runner Adventures. Hi, I'm Nick Stratton from Grid Runner Adventures. Hi, I'm Nick Stratton from Grid Runner Adventures.
Hi, this is Nick Stratton from Grid Runner Adventures.
Hi, I'm Nick Stratton from Grid Runner Adventures. See the buffalo? Hi, I'm Nick Stratton with Grid Runner Adventures. I'm just going to show you a couple casts that you can do with the fly rod today, and also how to tie a blood knot. Basically, that's just the knot that goes between the tippet and the leader. First, what we need to do is we just need to thread the line through the eyes of the fly rod. Basically, when you're doing this, you just want to always keep one hand pinched on the line at all times. That way, your hand that is controlling the line can let go, or if you drop it or anything like that, you always have one hand on the line. And then you will never have to redo the entire thing just from it falling down. Okay, now tippet is just a piece of really small fishing line. Basically, it depends on what you're fishing for, but right now I'm just going for a couple bluegill for you today. So I'm just going to use some 4-pound test. And then basically I just have to tie a blood knot, and then I'm going to actually show you a close-up of that later. But this is basically all it takes. It's just a few wraps around each other, and then a nice tie back through. Usually 3 or 4 wraps is all that you'll need per side or per tail end. That's pretty much all there is to it. I just like to trim off the ends with my Leatherman tool, and those are great to have. If only MacGyver had these. When you're trimming the ends, you can do it very close. You don't have to leave a tail end at all, and the nice thing about that is that it lets it go through the eyes of your fishing rod a lot easier if you ever had to reel up that high to get into the actual tippet. And I'm just using the wire cutter function. These Leatherman tools, they work just fine for a fishing line. Sometimes on the smaller gauges of fishing line or the smaller pan test, it will be a little harder because you have to deal with it going in between the blades of the rigger knot. So now we got the tippet on. I'm just going to reel it in, and I usually make my tippet and leader. I'll stop the float line right at the tip of the rod. That way, no matter what, I pretty much have float line free and ready to fly. And then I'll just cut the leader to right where my eye hook is, and that usually seems to give me just enough. Sometimes you'll want a bit more leader, it depends on what you're fishing for. But in this case, just bluegill, they aren't too picky, so we should be just good right here. Bluegill like a lot of different types of flies. They're not all that picky, but I found my best luck with a little thread body spider fly. And all it is some hackle that is wrapped around a hook with a bit of peacock. So it's basically just a 3-part fly. There's some peacock for the body, some silk thread. You want to use silk thread, it just wraps a bit better than any of the cottons or the other synthetics. And then just a few reps of hackle around the head to create the simulation of the wings. So that's basically all I use. And it works great for trout and for bluegill and all sorts of different fish. Caught bass with it. So it's been my one-stop shop fly here in Wisconsin. And I have not been able to try a single one that was bit any better. So we'll just get this tied on. And as far as tying the fly, same that you would for any other fishing lure. There are a few different schools of thought on how to secure your fly. But I find just a regular fisherman's knot works no problem. You just want to make sure that it's secured on there very nice and tight, because these flies get a lot of thrust and such around the loop pinnacle. Okay, we're all set. We got a fly, we have a tippet, we're all set. And we got one. And it's a little baby right now. But, I'm just going to strip it in just like this, so you don't actually have to reel the line at all. And that's how good those flies work. You'll be catching them all along on these guys. Bluegill have really soft jaws, so you want to not hurt them. So I find that if I get a good grip with my Leatherman, I can hold them a lot gentler. Other than that, they're really hardy. I don't believe I've ever seen one go into shock or anything from being caught. Perfect cast is just a paused cast. To get that roll effect, you just need to pause right as you're going out and right as you're going in. And what that does is it just lets it be able to finish the loop. Just by giving it a little pause, you won't get any snags or any knots in your line. They're biting it. Every single cast I'm getting a little bit of a nibble and I'm watching them fall in. I'm just right now in about 12 to 18 inches of water. casting out around 30 feet or so with the line. Well, I think we're going to try a different spot.